Hi guys.
Hi.
How is everyone? No one else is usually the one who asks how is everyone.
Yeah, they're good. I believe you guys are good. You guys are great. You guys are awesome.
It's a chilled Saturday.
Eh?
But for us it's a Saturday of work.
Siyasebenza.
We don't have any option.
Yeah.
The only option that we have is work and doing this. Guys, we hope you're good.
Yeah.
So we're back again as with that twang. We are back again, continuing with our journey of salvation.
Yeah.
So our first video was about how we got saved.
Yeah.
And I think in that video we spoke generally about the challenges that we faced. Something that it's common to everyone.
To everyone, yeah.
Because we spoke about the stereotyping, the kind of ideas that people have about what being saved means, and how people who are saved we tend to take those things and bring it into our lives, and sort of also struggle and wanting to
live up to those things.
To those things.
Yeah.
But we're back today. We are going to speak about specific things in our journey, which challenged our faith.
Yeah. So this is now season 2. No, not season, but episode 2.
Episode 2
of our journey.
Of our journey.
Yeah.
I mean, we really spoke about how we got saved, when we got saved, and how the decision came about.
Yes.
But it's definitely not an easy journey.
It's not. Yeah, it's really not. And I think as we were talking, I was like, apart from everything that happens in our journey, if you want to grow, if you want to know God more and more, you must be intentional. You really must be intentional of your salvation or your journey with God. You can't just be going with the flow. I was now like looking into my specific events that happened, because today we are actually talking about specific events that happened, that challenged our faith. So I'm not sure if Andy is gonna start or.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. So basically, and apart from just saying these were specific events, I believe in my journey, I think they've gotten me to where I am today.
Yes.
So in God or in Christianity, a challenge is not, it doesn't just happen in vain.
In vain, yeah.
It doesn't happen in vain. It's for a specific purpose.
Yes.
So I can say, I am glad that I went through those things, because they've sort of given me the ability to say, you know what, I'm very sure about Christ, and despite me falling and getting up, but then at the end of the day, I chose him as he also chose me. I still stand with him.
Yeah, with what you are saying, it also shows in the beauty of growing with God, growing into this thing. And when something is growing, like, you encounter a lot of things. You fall, you stand up, you face storms, you face all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, you are growing to become better and better, and you gain a lot of insight.
You're growing. It's basically like life, from when we are children to becoming adults.
Yeah.
So the same with the journey with Christ. It is the same thing.
It is. And
for us, it's not just like it's a part of our lives and then we go to the other part. This is who we are.
Who we are.
This is our identity. This is how we now know what we're supposed to be like this. This is where we'll end up. So let's get to it.
Yeah.
I think I'll start in 2013.
Okay.
So 2013, I think it was my second year ever city. UWC. The girl is within. You know what? You are a student. You have your own money. You have bursaries. And I think the previous year, 2012.
Yeah.
2012, there was something happened at my previous church where I was churching. So it broke apart.
Okay.
Broke apart, and then other people were taking the other side, others were taking the other side. So I also chose a certain side. But then things were no longer the same. Things were no longer the same because there was now a new way of doing things kweli icala from into bisenzeka ngokuyana. And I think at that time it needed when your church breaks into part, it needs you to really wake up. Because that is going to affect you. You need to know where you stand with the Lord. Is it just about the church or is it about Jesus?
Yes.
And I think at that time I was still a child by age and also spiritually. So for me, going to church was just about churching. So I don't think I really put my mind into saying, okay, let me think deeper about this. Where is it that I need to be?
How old were you that time?
2013, I think I was 19. I was 19, 2013. But as I say, but I would say that other part of the breaking up of churches, it didn't severely affect me because I still continued going to church.
Though you felt like things are no longer the same.
Okay. And then 2013, I was in my second year. And I think because now I no longer had that, I don't know, authority or something that pushed me to church, go to church, you're supposed to go to church. Okay. I just had my freedom. I was a student, I had my freedom. I found myself, I stopped going to church.
Okay.
I think from late 2012 and the entire 2013, I did not go to church. I stopped attending church, and there was no pastor was asking me, why aren't you not coming to church? What is happening? And I think that is because of the transition that was happening at that time. There was so much focus on who's at the church now, who's not here.
Maybe they've chosen a different side.
Maybe they've left. So there was no someone who was after me. And I would say, Gucci, that was one of the worst times in my life.
Okay.
Because as a result of stopping going to church, I really saw ugly changes in my life. I stopped praying. I stopped reading the Bible, and I was not a big reader of the Bible at that time. Because we're not thought about, okay, you know what, you need to take care of your spiritual life. And then I saw a change in my behavior and in my attitude. Endlini, I was just, I grew this hate for Mama. I was just angry towards her. I was just no longer that person. I was no longer happy, and even that affected my academics. I was not performing well in my academics. I was just not myself. And I think at the end of 2013, I knew exactly what the problem was.
So you mean during the period where you saw changes in your life, you were you understood, did you have that insight, but it's because I'm no longer going to church, or did you know, did you feel it? But
I think when those problems that I encountered reached a climax, at the end of 2013, I was okay, you know what? I need to take a step back. I need to reflect. I need to know about, okay, what is wrong, and where is it that I need to be? And I think it was clear to me that the problem was that I no longer went to church. I no longer prayed. Jesus was no longer a part of my life. Although I would say that I was lucky enough that I didn't get involved in a lot of things that would have further derailed my walk with the Lord.
Okay.
I didn't get involved in those things, engaging in sexual activities and drinking and stuff. I think that came from my personality. I was not that kind of a person. But just the part that Jesus was no longer in my life, and I could feel that the Holy Spirit is not with me. So beginning of 2014, I decided that, you know what, I'm going back to church because this is what I need. And I know, Uguti, I need this. I went back to church in 2014.
Okay.
And I think it was just in a space of weeks, things totally changed. When I got I went back to the same church. I mean, the teaching, the preaching, everything, it just made a lot of sense. And I need to give a huge shout out to my pastor. I was like my current spiritual father. I mean, I always felt like I belonged. I understood him. I understood his teaching. I was a student to him. And really, things changed. In June that year, I was asked to go and encourage in a youth service. I'm not sure if you remember.
I remember very well. I was like smart child.
And it was the very first time. It was the very first time that I ever stood in front of people. I was now involved in serving Ekawini. My spiritual life was just growing. Was more happy. My academics were flourishing. I was now back into prayer, back into reading the word, I was getting to understand izinto. Spiritual life. I mean, 2014, best year of my life, I would say. 2015, the same thing. I was just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And then I think 2016, I would say.
Also, your academics, they were flourishing.
I mean, I graduated with a B average. If it was not for Face Must Fall, I would have graduated with cum laude. I would have. But nonetheless, end of 2015, I graduated with my undergrad.
Yeah.
Good marks. I got acceptance into honors, AUWC. But I wanted to go to VETS. But then because of the First Must Fall things, applications were late, results were delayed. I ended up not going to VETS, but I really wanted to go there. So when I started with my honors at UWC, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be at UWC. I wanted to be somewhere else. So I think ukuthi just Londoleyo made me like I was not invested in my studies in 2017
because you didn't want to be there.
I didn't want to be there. I think at the end of 2016 I felt like maybe if I took a gap year. So I think that space and Nukuso beginning of 2016 descends the honors but not being there like emotionally and mentally.
Okay.
Like I was not focused on my academics, but I think I was focused more in church.
Okay.
I was focused more in church. Like my spiritual life was not affected at that time. Came to end of 2016, I failed a module. I have never failed in my entire life, not in a test, not a module.
Okay.
It was a bit of a shock to me. It was really a bit of a shock. And I think the pressure got to me of, Andipe, you know what? This is not you. You're not a person that fails. And I was like, you know what? Because I had a bursary, which we were going to work at the organization after done graduating. I was like, I don't care if I failed. My plan was I'm gonna work in 2017. So I'm going to go to work. But I was not in the right space. Like from the beginning of 2016, in terms of making such decisions as okay, let me start employment. And at that job, like I was receiving like really good money. But I think it was just not the right time. The job, I felt like the job came at the wrong time. I was not myself. I was just not at my place. And I think the 2 years that I was at that place, I disappointed myself. I did not enjoy it. I did not give. I'm saying by disappointed is that I felt like I did not give my best and my all.
Because you felt like you were not in a good space. You were not so being not in a good space affected your performance.
My performance.
So now are you telling me Okay, I just want to find out, how was your spiritual life in that period?
No, I was still going to church. Like the church side of things, that was fine. But I would say what was the issue was that I think I sort of put God aside when it came to decisions about my career.
Okay, another part of your life.
And about money.
Okay.
So for me, God was just about, okay, going to church, but I didn't involve him at all.
Wow.
And in December 2016, I did feel it in my spirit. Yeah, but why are you after money? Why are you pressurized about getting a job? Why are you not taking a step back? Fix what happened in 2016, go and study again. I was like, you know what, I had a plan for my life, and that plan just can't be disturbed because I was not in a good space. I'm gonna go work. I have work. I'm gonna earn the money. I'm gonna do the thing that I want.
You did not inquire of the Lord.
Of the Lord.
Come on now.
I did not inquire of the Lord.
Wow.
I mean, even failing my module and failing my honors, I think maybe God was saying to me, take a step back. Maybe he knew that, and if you're not ready to receive money, you're not ready to be employed, maybe you really need to involve me. Because it's now a new stage in my life. I was a student and I was doing fine, but now I was getting into employment.
Guys.
So before I continue any further with what happened in 2017, 2018, and currently where I am now, I want you to share your own side. Because the problem starts in 2017.
Yo, guys, I don't know, man. Listening to Andy Pay, like, it's really inspirational, guys. Like, I don't know how I feel, like, but seriously, to see this growth, to see how God it's really amazing. Okay, guys. Okay, Nani, must definitely pick up 2014 has been Chilo on our previous video. 2014, that color, I started serving at church 2014. I was serving at church 2015.
2014 was also your first year?
No, it was not my first year. 2014, I was studying a CPUT at Cape Town campus. I was doing my mathematics. So
how girl?
Then I passed 2014 December. Then I went apply CPUT. 2015 my first year CPUT again at Belvoir campus. Guys, happy, so everything was just in 2014, 15 and 16. It was just the Lord, my studies, I was just flourishing. Then 2017, I was doing my first semester. I was doing in-service training. Yes, work integrated learning, SPUT. You are required to do that for 6 months, right? A lot of things happened, guys, and I was just so close. So I really don't know how to put it, but I was in the circle, like I was there. There
were also other changes.
A lot of changes.
People left and others remained.
Yeah. The pressure was just too much, Like, spiritually I was doing okay, but that time, I questioned a lot of things. I did not understand a lot of things. And and I was just so hurt, I was just so vulnerable. I didn't know what to believe, And then I was like, you know what? I'm just, let me rather leave. The girl left the church. Guys, I prayed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I prayed. I went to that last Sunday. I went to a park, and then I was like, you know what, God, now I'm taking this decision. Like, I'm leaving the church, so it is you. Where should
I be? What should I
do? I was not at peace taking that decision. I was just at peace because I was just crying, letting it out. Then I was like, no more. I think into eyenzekayo ngalanyaka after ndemke ecaweni zange ndikhawuleze uya kwenye icawa, I was always connecting live. Then I decided, okay, you know what, let me connect live. But now I just wanted to be somewhere. I remember in Indomazana from campus invited which is the family because I connect live. Then I went there. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I went there, you know, I was just I did not gel, man.
Not your vibe.
No, I connect live, Kubo, and I gel so well nabo live. But when I was there, it did not feel right, you know. But guys, what I want to say is a lot of things happened like nyaka. It's transition eyenzekayo ebomini bam. 2017, you know, I was just so hurt. I was no longer happy, especially second semester, because them got second semester. Payana. I was just involved kwintos ezithethisayo. Izinto nami ndandizithetha ngabanye abantu. It was just not me, you know. So, 2017 kuphela kwakhe, again, I was privileged. Ndabizwa ecaweni. My uncle, I didn't want to go, and I told myself, man, from esikolweni, I'm going straight home. I'm not going to go to his house because now ukonza payana still. I'm not going to go to his house. I'm going straight home in Eastern Cape. But then and then I sat down with the man of God, Sateta, with everything that was happening, you know. Yeah. Then Dabuyela again, but my spiritual life was just so down, you know. I was no longer praying I was no longer serving. At that time, I think into push a spiritual life some I knew but I had to be, you know, up my game. Then 2017, it was not the same, you know. Even
you shriveled, you were careful of putting yourself out there again, and
not really, that's it. I mean, the vibe, people, because maybe they were asking themselves about, okay, buyela ndoni kwenzeke ndoni ngoku khona la vibe yova man bana ingathi you no longer welcome in the space. So ngoku I was sort of, you know, disbambile, you know, such. So 2018, I was just spiritual. I'm such a vague, man. It was shallow, you know. It was shallow because, you know, I was no longer the same. But 2018, I was like, you know what, girl, stand up. You must push your life. I started focusing on my life. I started focusing on my academics. I was like, if Leslie Kaweni is going to be like this, so be it. Let me focus on my life. I invested a lot of energy in my life, on my studies. I passed that semester, that first semester, so well, 2018. The second semester, I got a job where I wanted. Yeah, I was writing down, like, I want to work for DMP. I want to, like, I was just, okay, yeah. No, they don't know DMP, by the way. I want to work at, you know, this place. Then I was like, writing down things, and God was just coming through for me. I was like, you know what? Isn't this according the way that I was praying and writing things down and writing my visions down? Isn't though they were just, I started doing a business. I was flourishing in business, and I got the job. I was so happy, focusing on my life, saving. You know, in your saving when it was aside, you know, money was coming, you know, life was popping, you know, focusing on myself. And then I was like, 2018, no. 2019, I must, you know, be intentional about growing my spiritual life, because 2018 I did not focus on my spiritual life, and to be honest, they were easily getting to me, like they were easily getting to me. When that they know, you know, most your journey with God, but they know they had no effect on. But they have, you know, you find yourself crying, like, I was like, no, I must fix my relationship with God. I was intentional 2019, like, my journey with God. I must grow spiritually, new revelations, new dimensions. So I took that conscious decision 2019 and I focused on my spiritual life. Guys, it was the best decision that I've ever made. My times of fasting, my time of prayer, my devotional time, praying, my intercession times, I flourished in my academics, in my serving. I've got new insight now. You know what, Nomanisi? Me serving a church, that uthando lwam for uThixo, it's not tied up into me serving a church. You know, I got such revelations, but even if I'm not serving a church, I'm still okay. My relationship with God is still flourishing. You know, even Abandu would say things that are hurtful, but I was just, you know, what matters is Christ. I was just full of joy, man, you know, focusing on the Lord and doing what I'm supposed to do. Satibana no Andy, people were just 2019. It's actually the time where
it's 2019. But I want to go back to the point about, you know what, the decision to go back to God. That is the best decision that you can make for yourself.
Ever.
Always choosing Jesus.
Jesus over everything.
You can put things aside and choose Jesus. If God is really speaking to you, and you will know it. You do know it. But you know what? This is what I need to do. Put aside all those things. And it's real when Jesus says, seek the kingdom first and everything else shall follow. I mean, what Norma is saying about head 2019.
Yes.
Is something that I spoke about in 2014, where when I went back to God, like everything just it became aligned. It was just I was not striving for academics. They just happened easily. I achieved marks easily. I was not trying for money.
Yes.
Money just I was not lacking. I was not lacking.
Yeah. You don't. Now that's what I realized 2019. But guys, we don't have to toss and toil. You don't have to feel it here. Just devote yourself to God. Seek the Lord. He will help you. Izinto will just flow
and fall into place.
Exactly.
So in 2019 we are in that space.
I was in it like
remember we stopped in 2017.
Yeah.
2017, 2018. I was this girl focused on the job, on making money. And I'm just going to church. But
I think that's the period where I was in 2018. You know, focusing on much Lendu and yes, you see the money's coming, you focus on your job, you're doing your job.
Everything is nice for you. But what does the Lord want from you? And then I think I got a wake up call in 2019.
Yeah.
When the job ended in May. I was no longer with a job.
Yeah.
I no longer had money. And I just looked at the previous 2 years and I was like, you know what? The previous 2 years were just a mess. And in that mess, I was not conscious. I was not present. I was just living. And for 7 months, from May until December 2019, I did not have a job. It was a difficult time in my life, but I would say it was not like the most difficult as the time when you lose God, you lose the sight of God, you lose the presence of God. That is the most difficult time. My 2013, but this time I just lost things, and this time I understood. Because the Lord took away all the things. I understood exactly about why I was not without a job. I was applying, but I was not getting a job. I tried school, masters. I did not get a place. I think I just understood. I was like, you know what? Let me stop doing all of this. Let me go back to seeking the Lord until He opens the door. And I think it did at the end of 2019. He opened the door, and that was when Nomanis and I met and we became close. We started speaking about the work of God, purpose. This is also where this YouTube page was birthed. A lot of good things.
Like a lot of good things, guys.
Which we're still sticking to.
Yeah.
So,
and we were both in that space where we just God first.
We had the same mind, I think. With, like, I would speak to Romanes and she would speak back, and we would find no one these things align. Like, I think at that time, Tasa, you became the person that I needed. Because I told myself that, you know what, I don't want to be close to anyone. I don't want to, I don't know, but I really found myself close to you, and it was not for anything like I want to be close to people. I was close to God.
Yeah.
But I think it was the working of God.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was the plan of God.
The plan of God.
The plan of God. And just if you can wrap up without even like wasting time, from that time to where we are now. I got a job, not the most posh, not well paying, but it's at a place where I enjoy. It's a type of job that I enjoy. I got to meet abantu abanjengonamanesi who were doing great things, fulfilling things. I started projects in my community which are also flourishing.
Wow.
I became conscious of myself, aware of myself. When I get myself into something, I know, okay, I'm underpaid, you're getting yourself into this thing.
I love it.
I sort of know the end of something before it begins. I mean, it's not that even challenges stopped. I still face challenges even at church, with people talking, in finances also. And there are also still times when I'm like, God, like you really need to speed up, because I know where you want me to be, God. Please take me there quickly. But at the same time, even though those thoughts do come, I'm just at peace knowing that my entire fate is in the hands of God.
Yeah.
So I think that is Andipe 2021. That is Andipe April 2021. I'm in that space. We're like, I don't care about what I have, what I don't have, as long as it is part of the plan of God.
Yeah, that's amazing, hey guys. I'm just okay. For Mnani, because space in the course, like guys, like last year I got a job 2020. Like 2020 beginning of the year. I think it was January, February. Then I got a job March. Ndaya kwi interview on during January. January month, like end of January. Ndaya kwi interview.
After graduation stress.
And I was stressed at that time, But I will always find myself, man, motivated.
You should have learned from me.
Ne?
You should have learned from my experience.
That time, like really, yo guys, and uhlala wedwa. Sometimes I fake and the girl used to come over, son. And she used to say, Sisi, wake up, we uncover the taxi. I also want to be the girl. I also want to go to, I just want to like get up, God damn it, go to work, I was,
But you understand, I told about my journey and the job and the graduation.
I knew that, but I also wanted to be the girl.
I understand him, this.
Okay,
totally
thank you so much. But guys, now I'm that goes a space. But then the Lord came through for me March. Then I got a job. Very nice. So we locked down. Then savula again emsebenzini. I think when ndandiphelwa kula msebenzi and I was doing well, but into your transport yakhona, it was really frustrating me. Like last year, end of the year last year, it was really frustrating me, guys. Like it was really frustrating me. I told myself I'm not coming back to Cape Town 2021 because I just can't. I'm working for transport, boss, and just for rent. But anyway, 2020. Now, the goodness of the Lord.
2021.
Oh, 2021, sorry. 2021, the goodness of the Lord. Hey, guys, God has been great. I'm in a space now where I'm like, you know what? But Christ is all and he isn't all. I've seen God. Space soba ngoku andiphe mention something. I have learned from that. In this period now ndikuyo apha ebomini bam, because I got a new job. Praise be to God. You know, and you know, imali xa isonyuka uyufuna uduma ingqondo ba I want to do this, I want to do that. You know what God said to me? I was just in my room. He said, relax. I felt it deep down. Uba, relax. La relax. Uba, you must relax. I think what Andy mentioned as she was speaking about, she did not inquire of the Lord Queen's needs when she had.
It was a big next step in my life.
A moment back, you know. So that ukumamela uThixo kunceda pha sometimes. So now the space is over. God, ndifuna wena to guide me. That's why in the city bana. But Christ in all. Christ is all and Christ is all. Yes.
I mean what you're speaking about that now you are receiving things but your focus is not those things. It's not on them. It's on God.
Yes.
And it's just not going to be easy for those things to take you away from your rightful place, because you are aware of yourself. You are aware, but you know what, even this job may be good and stuff, but it can never be enough more than Christ.